Hello friends, welcome back to another video. This is going to be a very casual fall reading vlog, setting the intention now because as you guys know, if you've been watching my previous videos, I am in the process of moving, which has taken over my life as it does, I'm sure, for anyone going through a big move. And it's not even a big move. We're not moving across the state. It's not, it's not a big life change. I'm not switching jobs. It's a local, easy, breezy move. So far, I've been very low stressed in terms of preparing and all of that, but we are officially a month out and packing has begun. My living room is a chaotic mess. You can't see it right now. You will see it though. And I don't like to live in a sea of boxes or in chaos. So in the past, I've always procrastinated really bad on moving. And I've done a moving diaries a couple of years ago when we moved into this apartment here. I will link that down below if you'd like to see that whole saga. We're seasoned vets when it comes to moving, and I'm just trying to remain calm and just start packing as soon as possible. And since it is an easier move for us, we are able to like slowly start moving our things in before we're actually going to be living there, which is so amazing. I'm so grateful I've manifested this. Setting that tone, I am sitting right now. It's Saturday morning. I've had a little slow self-care morning for myself. I'm doing a little bit of planning, checking in with my power sheets, my Fresh Start daily goal planner, which I've been loving this. I'm definitely not a huge fan of like daily pages, so I'm thankful this is only for like 90 days. I did order the 2026 Common Planner for next year, which I'm really excited to use, but we have a couple months until then. But I've been loving this, at least the like the weekly refresh pages, and it's just helping me set up my week. I also mentioned this weekend like to-do pad, planner pad, also in my like autumn reset video. I've been using this every weekend too to help me just brain dump, focus on what I want to spend my time on the weekend, and it's been really helping me. So aside from moving things, planner updates, let's talk about books. And I'm not sure, actually I have an idea of what I'm going to be reading in this video. I'm in the middle of this romantasy book that is by a indie author, Mila Rose, Threads of the Maiden's Moon. It's part of a series called The Witching Wood, and this is book 1. I think the second book comes out next year maybe, but I'm really loving this. I went in with low expectations, knowing it's a romance. There's a bunch of trigger warnings in the beginning. There are certainly things in here, like dialogue things and like things about the male main character that I'm just like a little bit cringy, but like I am immersed in the cringiness of it all, and it's actually amazing. Like the world building and the writing, and it's very spicy as well, which we love that. So I don't know, I'm really loving it. I like started this 2 days ago and I'm already like almost done with it. So I'm on page 272 and I think there's like 400 pages. So I really want to like finish it this weekend, and then we can start a new book together, which I think we're going on a witchy theme. Dare I say this might be a witchy fall reading vlog as well, but I have 2 other witchy books on my fall TBR that I want to read and start. So will we segue into those after this? We will see how I'm feeling. The reason I decided to read this is because we're gonna have to move. I just finished reading Immortal Consequences by Ivy Marie a couple days ago, and I did not enjoy this, unfortunately. I know some people have really enjoyed it on Goodreads and other review places I've seen, and maybe you've read it and you've enjoyed it. Let me know, BTW, but it just fell flat for me. There was just too much going on, and somebody on Goodreads said that this kind of read like a first draft that needed like heavy editing, and I like 100% agree with that take. There was too many characters, too many POVs, a lot of repetitiveness. Is a young adult, so I went in knowing that, and for some reason, like I thought I was a romantasy And I even like kind of, and in my autumn book video, I said it was part of my romantasy category, but like I was getting through like a good chunk of it and I was like, there have been no like spicy scenes, like this is a real slow burn, like what is going on? And then I finished the book, so it's not spicy at all, guys. But then I like went back, because I got it from Book of the Month, and I re-looked at like their like marketing, you know, for it, and it was only they said it was fantasy. So I don't know why in my head I thought it was a romantasy. I think because of, you know, it's pink, it's black, it's giving romantasy vibes, but I would classify it more as a fantasy dark academia with a little bit of horror in it. So if you like those things, YA, dark academia, it takes place at like a school, all the students are dead. The world building magic system I had a lot of questions about. It just felt, again, like a first draft that needed like more fleshing out to truly like wow me. And I like books like that. I mean, we all love a good just book that isn't necessarily objectively written well, but just vibes are there, it holds your attention. This didn't even really hold my attention. It took me like over a week to read. I was really bored. I listened to a good chunk of this on audiobook because I just was not really interested in reading like the physical book, like, you know, that much, except when I had longer periods of time, like on the weekend. So yeah, I gave it a 2 out of 5 star rating, which is really low. And I know this is a debut author, but just not for me. Definitely fell flat. So after reading this, I was like, I need a romantasy in my life. I need it right now. So that's why I decided to start reading Threads of the Maiden's Moon. And this is like about a healer named Noli. Her name's like, her real name's Magnolia, and her name is spelled like I would pronounce that Noli, N-O-L-E-I, but I guess it's like pronounced Noli, like short for Magnolia. So before they were just calling her Noli, and I was like, this is a weird name, because there's also like a pronunciation guide. Like, I enjoy all these fun bits too. Like, this is heavily inspired by the moon and the divine feminine, and I'm loving all of those themes, and the author's doing a really great job of like integrating that into the story and the plot and balancing like the plot and the dialogue and the romance scenes. So I'm like been very impressed with this book. But like with the pronunciation guide, like Noli is how you say that, but then we have another character named Leo. I don't know. When I see L-E-I, am I just like nitpicking? But it's just like, it's weird and hard for me to say like Noli. Like when I read that, I want to say like it needs like 3 syllables than 2. Anyway, nitpicking. There's also a fun little map. Linares is our little world. And the other thing I really love about this is that we're on a quest. I just love fantasy books when there's adventure and they're like traveling somewhere, because it like gives me kind of like a to-do list. Like, oh, we have a problem and we need to get here, so we're gonna go and traverse the terrain and we're gonna run into things, and that just keeps me excited and engaged, because you don't know what you're gonna run into when you're traveling. Anything can happen, and it like surprises you, but like not in a cheesy like way. It's like just done well. I recommend this book. We'll see when I finish it, but I've been really, really enjoying it so far. Another book that I did finish recently for my fall reading list is The Amalfi Curse by Sarah Penner. I was in the middle of reading it when I filmed my reading list video, and I finished it, and I love this. 4 out of 5 stars. My favorite book of Sarah Penner of the 3 that she's written and released, all within like the historical fiction genre. But I really, really enjoyed this. It was done really well. So if you're thinking of picking this up or any of other Sarah Penner's book, I do recommend. So those are my fall reading updates. So here's what remains on my TBR for this season, and I want to read either When the Crow's Away by Orly Wallace next to keep our witchy vibes, or A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sangu Mandana. I'm like the person that will procrastinate reading something or watching something because I know it's going to be good and I want to wait. And I'm like, I can be really patient. I thrive on like torturing myself being patient, but it's the end of September.
we're getting into October. That's when like spooky season's here and I start feeling the pressure. So I'm like, I need to start reading like a witchy book so I can just get that in my rotation. I have not read Mirror Lake yet. I'm thinking I might save this closer to when it's like stressful moving times, because I know this will be a little bit easier for me to read. It's very low stakes and I can just kind of pick it up and read a chapter here or there, and I don't need to fully concentrate, especially when my mind is in like a million other places. So I don't know, these are my two contenders to continue in this vlog, so we will see how that all goes. And here's the current state of my main bookcase. I started packing 3 boxes worth. I also mainly started packing things on my other bookcases, my smaller ones that aren't this one. So I think one of my goals this weekend is to completely pack this. Again, it makes me sad, but we gotta start doing it. I don't want to start tearing my desk down, but I know like it's gonna take some time to take the things off the wall. So maybe I will slowly start taking like the art off. You know, I have to take all my shelves and my pegboard down, and that's going to be a whole thing. So again, I need to just be like, you got to do it, Sheila. You got to do it. It's fine. It's fine. I thought this shot was going to like, I envisioned this shot looking more epic, but apparently it's not as epic. But can you see the sea of boxes behind me? Most of these are empty, friends. I've been very fortunate to be able to bring boxes home from my job and some organizing bins. Yeah, this is what I'm procrastinating on. This is what I'm going to be avoiding and reading instead of. But I think after lunch, I'm gonna try and do some packing, at least books in my bedroom. So we'll see. Faster than the speed of light, we stretch time. Snare drum pass, wicked sins. Faster than the speed of light. We don't look too guilty, we don't crave too much. You're calling, but I'm not gonna save you. Nah, I'm not gonna talk to you. When you do that, say I'm not gonna feel you. No, I'm not gonna talk to you. No, planetarian wisdom, teach us about life. Bloodstreams, DNA, and genders. There must be much more to this ride. We don't look too guilty, we don't crave too much. You're calling, but I'm not gonna save you. Nah, I'm not gonna talk to you. When you do that, say I'm not gonna feel you. No, I'm not gonna talk to you. It's a sad day, friends. I have packed all of my books. This is not all of them. I think there's like 3 or 4 boxes out in the living room, so I probably have like 15 to 18 boxes of books. It's a lot, isn't it? I even like categorize like my fall books and my fall TBR. So these are like books I like am reading or want to read. So I just like can find things easier, and some coloring books that I want to have access to. So books that I like want to be on top of. Then I started packing my journals and art supplies. So this is pretty much empty. There's my other bookcase that's getting down to the wire. There's my other bookcase that is pretty much empty. My other bookcase, also empty, minus the messy top part. Trying to pace myself and my back and my body. I think I'm just gonna relax now and like read more and check in with you guys on another day.
I'm waiting at the doorstep, I'm finally home. I've been gone for too long.
I am at a bookstore before it's opening. That's one of the perks of having friends who know people who own bookstores. Aunt and I actually are on a mission. He's helping me gather moving boxes. We were originally going to go to Lowe's. We are still going there, but he said that the used bookstore that he helps out at, and I've been and had my art show at, they had some boxes available. So we are here at the bookstore and they're not open yet. So while Aunt helps me get the boxes, I'm gonna do a little browse to see if there's anything I can potentially acquire, and then we're gonna run to Lowe's and then I think Barnes & Noble to do another quick browse. Just doing all the bookish errands and moving errands today, but yeah.
Got you 4 boxes.
Oh, even more.
Depending on the intentions of the one who stirs the cauldron.
Oh.
Tread carefully. Put the shovel in my hand. Yearns to dig a new
I'm scared.
grave.
And then there's... That's
We all know we didn't do it.
perfect.
Next year. Yeah.
These ones are ready?
Yeah.
So these
We move it.
welcome to the end of this video, friends. It's been a journey. This vlog has been like a 3-week vlog. I've only been really capable of filming like on the weekends in spurts in between moving and packing prep. So thank you for being here. Hopefully you've been enjoying this video so far. I have my spooky pumpkin ghosty mug. I put my pumpkin earrings in because Halloween's in 2 weeks and I haven't been really able to celebrate October or Halloween or spooky season as much as I would like to, given the state of my life right now, but that's just the way it is. I am looking forward to moving and trying to celebrate Halloween like the last week, you know, that we're the last week of October when we're all moved in. So alas, if you feel behind in a sense in terms of how you're celebrating this month, don't feel bad. I think there are little ways we can tap into that fall spooky spirit, and it doesn't have to look a certain way or look like somebody else's. So cheers to you, friends. Anyway, the whole point of this video was I read 3 books. It's been so long that I had to kind of get my bearings in place to share my thoughts. Okay, so where we left off, I finished our romantasy, which I absolutely loved. Still love that book. And then I moved on to A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping by Sangu Mandana. And like I said, I was very, very excited for this book and I did not like it. I did not like it, friends. It was a big disappointment and I have a lot of critiques about it. I think I just needed time to like process and not like react as I do in some past reading vlogs where it's like my immediate reaction is very like dramatic and then days pass when I actually like can process everything. But yeah, I just needed like time to like sit and process this book and my experience, and I'm not the only one. I found some reviews on Goodreads that affirmed my thoughts on this. Also, before I move into that, do you notice my background? You probably have been waiting for me to address, like, where are you, Sheila? We're at my desk. I took down my gallery wall, so it's completely bare and sad looking, but we're like a week away from moving and all that fun stuff. But yeah, my apartment is currently chaotic mess. We've been slowly moving things into the new place. Fun stuff. I'll talk more about that after I talk about books. My brain is all over the place because I just haven't really vlogged in a little bit. Anyway, so my first critique, like, I was struggling to get into the characters and my attention span. Like, the plot of this whole book was that our main character, Sarah Swan, was one of the most powerful witches in Britain, and then she did a spell to bring her aunt back to life who had recently died, and that like depleted all of her energy. So the whole plot of the book is like Sarah Swan is trying to get her magic back, but I feel like it took like a good 100 pages just to get to that point of like the summary. So it was like slow, but also just the writing was just very disjointed and very hard for me to follow when in comparison to The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. Like, the writing was, I loved that. I loved the writing in that book. It flowed so well. I loved the characters, the atmosphere, and as much as I don't like comparing authors' works together, it is really hard to not have high expectations for another book that looks and feels very similar to the one you had just read recently and really loved. I think also, since we had to wait a couple years for this book to come out, like, anticipation was like even higher than expected and it just didn't deliver. So it's like I waited all this time, I took all the time to read the book, and it just fell completely flat. So a lot of like plot holes. The plot was just all over the place, and at times I was just like, what are we doing? Like, where are we going? What's the plot again? Like, constantly reading the back of the book to like try and figure out where we are. And don't get me wrong, I love a good like literary book where it's just vibes and atmosphere, but that wasn't even doing it for me, again, because this is more of supposedly a plot and character driven type of book. So while there was like vibes, like it wasn't enough to kind of redeem the book in any way. The ending also was, again, no spoilers here, but it was really, really disappointing, given the overall plot and like hope for the character in the book, given the state of the world and society and being a woman of color, and I wanted to love our characters so much. And then the romance felt very just fake, like they're instantly in love, instantly loving each other. And what I really loved about, again, the first book, The Very Secret Society of Regular Witches, is that it was very a pining kind of romance where there wasn't a lot of escalation in terms of their relationship and their physical relations. Like, sure, there was a little bit of, you know, physical interaction, but we didn't have that in here. Again, I don't want to give too many spoilers away, but definitely didn't feel like a cozy fantasy romance by any means. And the romance was like just a tier, like a drop, like a subplot. It's not the main kind of driving force, but I enjoy having romance as a subplot, and that just did not do well either. Once I got halfway through the book, it was just so hard, a slog to get through. Like, I had to kind of force myself to read it. I was listening to the audiobook, but then it just was hard to listen to the audiobook because the narrator is British, and I struggle sometimes with certain books if the writing is just difficult to understand in general. There's a car alarm going off. I apologize if you can hear that. Okay, car alarm averted. So my thoughts are all over the place, but like, yeah, it was just difficult to hold my attention, and I think it was the writing style and just, that's why I'm just like so disappointed and sad to report that I did not love this book. We are also reading this together in my Patreon book club for our fall book club pick. So from October to the end of November, we are reading this together, and I will be putting up discussion questions sometime in November. So I'm just like gutted that I hated this book. Such a strong word, that I disliked this book, and yet everybody, you know, on Patreon, we're reading this together. So I'm trying to see the good in this book. So I'm hoping like when the discussion questions go up, we can kind of celebrate topics and glean, pull elements out of here that we enjoy, and also why I don't want to be so harsh on, you know, my experience and sharing it, but it is what it is. So if you would like to be part of that discussion and read along with us with this book, or maybe you already read it and you want to be part of that discussion, or now you're curious what you're gonna think because of what I thought, go check me out on Patreon and join our book club over there. I'd love to see you over there. Speaking of Patreon, I've also posted a exclusive video over there, a house tour of my new house that I'll be moving into soon. Sign up, you get access to all of my past videos that I've been posting monthly since February or something. You get access to weekly photo diaries and just general updates. I have a few like voice memo, audio, podcast type recordings over there, just sharing random things about what's going on in my life. And I'm hoping to get back into revamping my Patreon a little bit more once the move is over, once the holidays is over, and once I just have time to kind of like sit and work on that a bit more. We're in like a beta testing mode all year, so right now it's just $1 to sign up and become a member of our group. You can also sign up for free. I do post some posts like to the free tier over there, so as long as you're like signed up as a member, you'll get access to that. So whatever floats your boat. Of course, there's no pressure at all to support me, but if you are supporting me over there, thank you so much for being a lovely patron, and I appreciate you so much. Alas, after I read this, I just wanted more witchy vibes, but a better writing and character development. So I decided to read When the Crow's Away by Orly Wallace next. So this is book 2 of an Evenfall. I always say Evenfall and it's Evenfall, and I prefer Evenfall. Like, Evenfall just sounds kind of weird, but it's an Evenfall Witches bread and Oh my god, bed and breakfast mystery. It's so hard to say that. I think I struggled saying that on my fall like reading recommendations video, but I was excited to read this next because I really enjoyed the first one, In the Company of Witches, which is pretty much like a fall book. So when I started reading this, right off the bat, it said it was like springtime, so I was getting a little worried and was like, oh no, does this book take place in spring? Maybe it's just starting off in spring and then like a few chapters in it'll be fall time, but no, this was truly a springtime book. I mean, even if you look at the cover, we have lots of spring vibes. There's a greenhouse, and just after finishing all of this, it was definitely a spring book. So again, I'm striking out with getting like cozy, witchy, autumnal October vibes this season, so I'm just craving more of that, but it is what it is. But I really enjoyed this book as a part 2, second in the series, a follow-up to the other book. I just love Orly Wallace's writing and her character style, and since this is technically a cozy mystery, her characters just have a lot more depth to them, which I appreciate and what I don't really like about a lot of cozy mysteries. So I loved In the Company of Witches, and this one was about a chocolatier, a chocolate maker who was killed, and he like comes back as a ghost because our main character, Rin Warren, can talk to ghosts. She can see ghosts. That's one of her like powers. So this ghost comes back and he's like, I've been murdered, help me solve who murdered me. So I thought that was like a cute little plot as well, knowing of course it's a cozy mystery, but she's a witch, she can talk to ghosts, the ghost comes back, and then we try and figure out, was he murdered? Was it an accident? What happened here? Overall, I really did enjoy this and gave it a 4 out of 5 star review, I think. This book though, I'm pretty sure it's a 2-star read. I know. I can't believe I gave the Sperry Secret Society 5 stars and I'm giving this one 2 stars. It just was so bad. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Alas, witchy reads. That was my witchy reading vlog, friends. We read three good books. A few great books, a few not so great books. But again, we had lots and lots of fun. So with all of the reading out of the way, I must get back to packing and get that all figured out. But I'm hoping once I get this video up, I'm going to start filming like a proper moving diary vlog, and that'll be the next one I think you see. Although part of me wants to do like just a straight fall video, but again, who knows what I'm gonna create. It all comes in waves. And while I'd love to do like a cozy fall day type of video, I don't know if that makes the most sense right now given everything going on, but who knows, maybe I'll surprise myself, maybe I'll surprise you. But thank you for being here. I'm wishing you a happy and spooky October season, whether it's fall or springtime, depending where you are in the world. And let me know what you've been reading this month, any autumn reads, witchy reads, any disappointments or really good books that you've read. Let me know if you have any like cozy mysteries to recommend me, because I'm kind of craving a cozy mystery. I actually just read and just finished this morning. So after I finished When the Crow's Away, I started reading Mirror Lake by Juno Black, which is book 3 of the Shady Hollow mysteries. And this is a very low stakes, cozy fantasy in a small town where there's woodland creatures. And it was cute. Like, this is definitely not my favorite of the 3 that I've read. And I guessed the mystery, like I guessed kind of like the whodunit of it all, but it was a short, quick read and just low stakes, and I really enjoyed reading it. And given the state of my life right now, it's something that just fit and allowed me to have a little story to escape to. Can't wait to read the next one, which I think is called Twilight Falls. But yeah, I really recommend this series if you just want something light, fluffy, not too serious. It reminds me of just Animal Crossing, and all the creatures live and work together and solve mysteries together, but very cute. All right, friends, so I think this will probably be the last time you see me, at least properly, in this apartment. It's very sad. It's very sad. I haven't really gotten to the point of having those like bittersweet feelings, but since we're like a week out, I think we will, because it's gonna be my last week commuting, this certain commute to my job, you know, change is change and it comes with lots of emotions. And while I'm like very excited, of course, I need to like honor, you know, the time spent here and all the videos that I made here. I created my Patreon here, and I'm just grateful I ended up in this place, and even more grateful that I'm being called to go somewhere else and kind of enter a new chapter of my life, which I've been really needing and really am excited to share more of in the new house. So yeah, thank you for being here, friends, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.